Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy Elvius Void here, coming in with a new series of What If Naruto Was Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. So for this What If to work, I'm gonna have Naruto not be able to have chakra at all, but it will be replaced with cursed energy, like the power system for Jujutsu Kaisen. Naruto will have all the powers and abilities of Gojo, but we'll just get into that as we go into the what if. So let's just dive right in. We begin at Naruto's birth with Kushina and Minato. As soon as Naruto is pushed out of Kushina, they notice that he has white hair instead of the original yellow, as well as beautiful blue eyes. They don't think much of it because it might have been a random mutation from Minato's clan. So I'll get into the Namikaze clan. So the Namikaze will have a dojutsu, which will be the 6 eyes, but because it only showed up like once, it was just classified as a random mutation, just like Hashirama's wood style, which there hasn't been any other person to wield wood release in the Senju clan, except for like people using Hashirama cells. So Naruto will basically have the Namikaze Kekkei or the dojutsu, which is the 6 eyes. So they just bump it up to something being with from Minato's clan, which will, it's basically just the 6 eyes and place everything with curse energy. So when so-called Madara Uchiha comes in to take Naruto, he noticed that Naruto doesn't have any chakra at all, and so does Minato and Kushina. They notice that he has no chakra whatsoever in his system, and they don't know what type of energy is there in replace of it. So Obito, or we will call Madara Uchiha, will take Naruto and hold him, saying that if Minato doesn't give him the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, then his child will die. Just like in the original, Minato will save Naruto from Madara Uchiha, and Madara or Obito will take Kushina to the ritual place to extract the Nine Tails. Madara Uchiha will then, or Obito, I'll just call him Obito. Obito will put the Nine Tails in a pact using his Sharingan, and will release the Nine Tails out. Going back to Minato will use his flying Raijin to do whatever he was in the original and save the village, and think that he needs to seal the Nine Tails somewhere. Thinking that he should seal it into his son and himself, but realizes that because Naruto doesn't have any chakra, he won't be able to have a sealing jutsu to seal it on Naruto. So everything normally with Minato and Kushina going to the ritual place with Naruto, thinking of what they could do, I'm going to say that the pot where they sealed Shikaku, like that there's just a place to seal the Nine Tails. So what would happen is Minato would seal half of the Nine Tails inside himself, but because Naruto again can't house the Nine Tails with the Atrigram seal, because he doesn't have enough chakra, and because it's half of it's going into Minato, the other half will be stored into the little pot as a way to help keep the Nine Tails in the village, as well as keeping the burden of being a Jinchuriki away from Naruto. So Minato would die after summoning the Death Guard, Kushina would die because she got stabbed with the Nine Tails nail, and Hiruzen would take Naruto, and everything would go to normal. Something that would change in Naruto's early days is people don't think of him as the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, they just think of him as a random orphan. So Naruto wouldn't get the same type of glares that he would in the original, but he would think that he's different to everyone else. Not because he's in Jinchuriki, but because he doesn't have any chakra. When Naruto enters the academy, he would get first place in all aspects of learning during his academy days. Naruto would be first with Sasuke in second, and the Uchiha clan would have already happened. There would be no change because the Uchiha Uchiha massacre happened before Sasuke came into the academy. Naruto, because he has the same attitude towards everything as Gojo, would have his arrogant personality, thinking that he's better than everyone else because he has learnt through practicing with the six eyes and what he would call a Kikagenkai, infinity. No one would be able to touch him. He would be able to take his limitless technique that he had made early in his life because of his genius. He would be able to place infinity around his body, just like how Gojo does in Jujutsu Kaisen. Naruto, because he's able to use curse energy, just like Satoru, be able to imbue his body with curse energy. So during the hand-to-hand combat fights in the academy, Naruto would be able to absolutely demolish everyone who he fights. Because he keeps on winning all his matches with no difficulty, he gets an arrogant attitude to where he thinks that no one can defeat him. He even goes to say that everyone is beneath him in terms of power, and disregards his teachers as well, thinking that they are also not as strong as him because nobody can touch him. Because of this arrogant attitude, a lot of the people don't really like him, but they can't really do anything about it. In the later years of Naruto's academy, he'll be able to make friends with Shikamaru and Choji and whoever the last guy, I forgot his name, is, because of his laid-back attitude, but while in fights being cocky and underestimating his opponent. During one of the hand-to-hand combats one-on-one with Sasuke would lose in an embarrassing way, with him not even being able to touch Naruto at all. And because of his inferiority complex, he would continuously annoy Naruto, challenging him to a fight every single day. At the start, Naruto was happy to comply, knowing that no one can touch him, and would think that he would easily lose. Sasuke would easily lose. After a while of the continuous nagging for a fight, Naruto would end up just saying no, because it was just a waste of his time. We'll go to the last year of the academy. Because Naruto is so strong, I believe that Naruto wouldn't have to do the end of the year exam with doing the clone jutsu and all the other jutsus, because he doesn't have any chakra, only curse energy. I believe Hiruzen, the third Hokage, would do the same thing with what Rock Lee did. Because of Naruto's physical strength and his limitless and infinity techniques, Naruto would be able to become a genin without having to do the final test of the exam. Mizuki would still do the same thing, with him asking or telling Naruto that there's a second part because he didn't do the actual exam, that he would need to go and get this scroll of sealing. Naruto, being able to sense the fluctuation in Mizuki's cursed energy or chakra, would know that he's lying, but would want to have a fight with him to prove that he is actually stronger than his academy teachers. So Naruto would steal the scroll of sealing and meet Mizuki in the forest where the original fight was. With Mizuki now coming into above Naruto, Naruto would still be able to sense Mizuki even while wearing a blindfold. With Mizuki underestimating Naruto, saying that he is just a genin, a fight would ensue, with Naruto not giving the scroll of sealing and would just fight Mizuki head on. Naruto would have such an arrogant attitude that we would tell Mizuki that he will not move from his place. Mizuki would continue to attack Naruto, using his giant shuriken and throwing it at him. But as the shuriken is right about to get him, it stops right in front of his face, inches before him. Mizuki would be baffled, and Iruka would come into the picture, telling Naruto what he was doing and why was Mizuki fighting him. Naruto would tell him that Mizuki had told him to grab the scroll of sealing, as it was an extra part of his his final exam to become a genin. Haruka would figure out that Mizuki had tricked Naruto to stealing the scroll of sealing to take its power and leave the village. Haruka would also notice that the giant shuriken, is inches before Naruto's face, but has come to a stop. Naruto would again arrogantly explain why nobody could touch him, and he would explain his limitless technique and infinity and how he coats his body in infinity so that nothing can touch him because of the infinite space that surrounds his body. Because Mizuki is now baffled at his overpowered technique, he would be stunned, and Naruto would imbue his body again with cursed energy and be able to use a black flash technique on Mizuki, killing him instantly. With Mizuki now dead and not having to go and doing that filler episode later, Mizuki is dead, and Naruto would just go back to Hiruzen. Hiruzen, however, would have seen the entire battle and the explanation from the ball, the crystal ball that he uses to spy on the village. It's pretty creepy. Naruto would be awarded a mission reward of a C rank as a C rank mission, because Mizuki was a chunin, so it would have balanced out because it was a solo mission from a genin, and because of the favoritism from Hiruzen, because Naruto is like a grandchild to him. So there would have been a 1 week rest break, before everyone comes back to the exam. Because Naruto is first in the class, with Sasuke second and Sakura also first, Hiruzen would decide to make the teams a little unbalanced, with Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura still in Team 7, and all the other teams with Shikamaru, Ino, and Choza, whatever his name is, and all those other teams going against original. Team 7 would be given Kakashi as their sensei. But we all know Kakashi would come the 4 hours late, or about how many hours late. Naruto, because of his 6 eyes, would be able to have immense sensory abilities, being able to pick and locate where Kakashi is, and realize that he is at the grave site in Konoha. Going as fast as he can, Naruto would basically teleport using cursed energy to go at supersonic speeds and locate Kakashi, grabbing him and running with him back to where Sasuke and Sakura are located. This would take a few seconds, with Kakashi obviously noticing that he's moving at high speeds and that a small boy is dragging him along. Going into the building, Naruto would take Kakashi with him and meet up with Sasuke and Sakura inside the building. Kakashi would say, "Oh, okay, well, that was weird. Anyway, we should all meet on the rooftop," and they would all walk up together, with Kakashi not having made the shadow clone or the clone, and so they would just all walk up together. Kakashi would tell them all the details of who he is and tell them to introduce themselves. Sakura, being the idiot that she was, asks Kakashi to demonstrate it for them. Kakashi would tell his likes, dislikes, and just say that it's like none of your business, and his goals, none of your business as well. Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto would feel annoyed by this, because all they found out was his name. Sakura would go first, saying that her likes was a certain boy, giggling and looking at Sasuke, and her dislikes would be Naruto and Inoue, she would say. She would dislike Naruto, not because of the constant asking out, because Naruto would not have any romantic feelings for anybody, only relying on power. Sasuke, his likes would be the exact same, like tomatoes and training or whatever it was, and his dislikes would be his regular dislikes, with him also saying that his goal or ambition was to find a certain someone and kill him and avenge his clan. Naruto's likes and dislikes would also be somewhat the same, with his goals and admirations being different, sort of. Naruto would say that he wants to be a Hokage, not for the recognition of the village, because he doesn't have the same status as being a Jinchuriki like in the original. He would want to be the Hokage because the Hokage is the strongest in the village, and he wants to be the strongest. With this cocky attitude that Naruto saying that he wants to be the strongest, he would also say, well, I am, right now, still the strongest in the village. Kakashi not fully understanding why he said that he was the strongest, thinking that he is just an above average genin, would tell him that there is the actual genin test the next day, telling them not to eat anything before sunshining away. With Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura all annoyed at Kakashi with him running away and saying the bare minimum, would all leave for the day. Cutting back to the next day in the actual test, Naruto would be able to sense where Kakashi is, realizing that he's still at the grave, and he would stay in his house and eat breakfast, not taking in what Kakashi had said the other day, saying not to eat. Naruto would arrive 5 minutes before Kakashi would leave the grave and coming to the training grounds, where Sasuke and Sakura are waiting. Naruto arriving later, Sakura would ask where he was and why he didn't come when they were supposed to arrive. Naruto would reply that there was no need and Kakashi would be here in 5 minutes. Sasuke just grunts. Kakashi would arrive 5 minutes later, describing the bell test and how there's 2 bells and that they had to get this, and the one person who doesn't get the bell is sent back to the academy. He would start the 1 hour timer and say go, with Sakura and Sasuke dashing towards the woods to hide from Kakashi. Naruto, however, would stay put, not moving, smiling with his blindfold. Kakashi was a little confused about his blindfold, not realizing that Naruto with his 6 eyes needed to have the blindfold on during normal activities. And a fight would ensue between Kakashi and Naruto. Naruto, dashing towards Kakashi, would take a swing at him, with Kakashi dodging. Kakashi would realize that Naruto is really fast and is on Jonin level with his speed, but would be able to dodge as Kakashi is a high Jonin, with Naruto being a low Jonin with his techniques. A fight would continue to happen with Naruto and Kakashi hitting each other, with Kakashi thinking that he's hitting Naruto, when actually he is just hitting his infinity. Kakashi would not realize what's happening, and would thinking why Naruto is taking no damage to any of the blows that he's doing, but thinks to himself that he is holding back, and that he doesn't actually want to kill or hurt Naruto. Naruto would realize that he's not able to fully reach the bells with just his physical strength alone, and would use a quick curse technique of the limitless technique that is called Curse Technique Lapis Blue, which is basically the pulling, creating a vacuum and pulling an object. Naruto would use the Curse Technique Lapis Blue and pull in the 2 bells without Kakashi noticing. With Kakashi thinking that he still has the 2 bells, he would put distance between Naruto and himself, and 30 minutes would have passed. During those 30 minutes, Sasuke and Sakura would have watched the fight with Naruto and Kakashi, and they would have devised a plan to help Naruto in retrieving the bells. After Kakashi had put distance between him and Naruto, Naruto would again rush at Kakashi, with Sasuke and Sakura coming in behind Kakashi to deal a blow so Naruto could get the bells, without them actually knowing that Naruto already has the bells. With Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura using teamwork to actually battle Kakashi, Kakashi would be on the defense constantly, not being able to actually hit any of them because Naruto is helping defend them, taking in the blows without, taking the blows because of infinity. After fighting, the timer would go out, with Kakashi saying that they had failed because they didn't get the bells. Naruto, however, would smile and arrogantly say that he does have the bells and would hold the 2 bells in front of Kakashi. Kakashi would be baffled on how Naruto actually got the 2 bells, and Sasuke and Sakura would also be confused, as they had thought that Naruto didn't get the bells in time. Naruto would explain that he actually got the bells about halfway through the fight, before they actually came. And Kakashi would ask on why Naruto wasn't damaged at all during their fight. Naruto would, again, because they're all on the same team, explain his limitless and how he can actually coat his body in infinity, and also describe his dojutsu, which is the 6 eyes. He would say that he doesn't actually understand where his eyes are from or how he actually knows how to use limitless, or describe it was just something that came into his head, like what happened with Sasuke and the Rinnegan, how he just came up with or knew the type of techniques the Rinnegan has. With Kakashi saying that he has passed and he has to decide who he gets the other bell, Naruto would pass both the bells, both to Sakura and Sasuke, saying that, they can just have them. Kakashi smiling as they had used teamwork during the actual test, as well as Naruto giving the bells to Sakura and Sasuke, say that they had passed and they are officially Team 7. With them smiling and congratulating each other, the day would end, with Naruto going home to train and do all the normal stuff that he would do after the day. So today that's where I'm going to leave it off for part 1 of What If Naruto was Satoru Gojo. I hope you guys like it. If you have any new ideas on what I could post, or if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button and that like button and leave a comment in the comment section. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Bye bye.